Hi, everybody. This is Silvio Canto in Dallas, Texas on Tuesday, February the 26th, and welcome to our video commentary. We're watching Venezuela descend into total chaos. I mean, it is a dysfunctional country at the moment. It doesn't really have a government. As we all know, there's a conflict between Maduro and the other president. And it's just total chaotic situation. We've seen the problems on the border. We see the problems every day in the streets. I mean, it is a situation that cannot go on too much longer. It has to be resolved one way or the other. One of the problems and one of the reasons Maduro continues to hold on to power is the fact that there are, at the moment in Venezuela, and this is according to information I've seen, approximately 15,000 Cuban troops or agents or bureaucrats. It's not clear how many are soldiers, how many are agents, how many are doing other functions. But there's about 15,000 of them in Venezuela. In fact, over the weekend, Senator Rubio reported that they had picked up messages of Cubans talking to each other, engaged in confrontations with Venezuelans. And this, of course, elevates the Venezuela situation into an international crisis bigger than we had thought, because now you have Cuba, in a sense, intervening in Venezuela against the wishes of the Venezuelan people. And I think it puts a much different twist, if you will, in the story of Venezuela. So I think that you will see President Trump, once he gets back from the trip to North Korea or to Vietnam to talk to the North Korean leader, I think you're going to see President Trump be very vocally critical of Cuba and maybe take some sanctions against Cuba for its role in Venezuela. I would suggest to President Trump, I would recommend to President Trump to start shutting down trips to Cuba, to start shutting off any dollars that Cuba is getting from Americans or even Cuban Americans who may travel to Cuba. I would make it even more difficult for some of these cruise ships to stop in Cuba. And I would basically say that as long as Cuba has 15,000 troops in Venezuela, that they're not going to have a normal relationship with the United States under any circumstances. I would also make it very clear to Raul Castro that if any of these troops shoot Venezuelans, that Raul Castro himself will be personally accountable for the actions of these troops. So I think you have to now, the situation in Venezuela has now reached the point where you have to put the heat on Cuba, and Cuba has to leave Venezuela and let the Venezuelan people decide their own situation. I think they've already decided that, but these troops, these Cuban troops, these Cuban agents in Venezuela are literally standing between change and Maduro, and it's time for change. And the Cuban troops are making change impossible. So keep an eye on President Trump. I think he's going to put the pressure on Cuba, and hopefully that will bring about change in Venezuela. Thank you for watching. We have all of these on YouTube, we have them on Twitter, and we have them on my blog. And if today is your birthday, happy birthday. Bye-bye, everybody.